everyone. I'm JV Lance Sanchez. I'm taking up a Bachelor of Science in Accounting in AMA Online Learning Education. So I'm here to present my course project in subject Philippine Popular Culture. So for today's video I'm going to discuss about the American regime. This video focuses on the American occupation in the Philippines. It includes the reforms in the government, educational system and their influence to the Filipino people. At the end of the lesson, you are expected to discuss events that led to Philippine independence, and identify the American cultural influence to the Filipinos. But before we move on, there are some words or phrases I want you to remember. Military rule, the first form of government used by the Americans to rule the Philippines. Civil government, the government that succeeded the military rule. Jones Law of 1916, first official and clear response to the call for independence. Hair Horse Cutting Act, the Independence Bill. Tydings-McDuffie Act, allowed the Philippines for a 10-year transition under a Philippine Commonwealth in preparation to the granting of freedom. Now that you know those words or phrases, let's move on to our main topic. Americans aimed to colonize the Philippines because they saw the country as a potential market for American products. The Philippines was also seen by the Americans as a new source of cheap raw materials. They also found out that the Philippines is on a very strategic location to serve as its base to control the entire Pacific and other countries. The American rule in the Philippines started with a military government under General Wesley Merritt, then was succeeded by General Elwell Otis, and who was then succeeded by General Arthur MacArthur. The Filipinos continued to resist, which made General MacArthur order the deportation of some Filipino politicians and leaders of revolution to Guam for the reason of supporting the guerrilla war. The deported Filipinos were Apolinario Mabini, Pablo Ocampo, Julian Gerona, General Artemio Ricati, Maximo Hizon, Pio del Pilar, and Mariano Lanera. The military government was composed of the Supreme Court, where 6 members were Filipinos. It organized the provincial and municipal government and conducted the first local election in Bulacan, Bulacan. It also prepared the ground for a civil government and opened Manila and other ports for commerce. On the 4th of July, 1901, the American civil government was established and William Howard Taft became the Governor General until the 23rd of December, 1903. The Filipino revolutionists continued to fight for the independence of the Philippines, and their efforts had been slowly granted. It started from the Jones Law of 1916, which was the first official and clear response to their call for independence. The OS Rocks mission on December 1931 also ignited their hope. Sergio Osmeña and Manuel Rojas went to the United States and were able to secure a passage of an independence bill, and this was the Hair Horse Cutting Act. Manuel L. Quezon went to the United States also to try to secure another bill for independence, and the result was the Tydings-McDuffie Act, which allowed for a 10-year transition under a Philippine Commonwealth in preparing for the granting of freedom. Finally, on the 4th of July, 1946, the United States granted the Philippine independence. The Americans brought many developments to the Philippines. The Gabaldon Act of 1907 provided the allocation for the construction of public schools in the Philippines. The Tomasids, American soldiers, were the first teachers for the Filipino people during the American regime. The young and intelligent Filipinos were granted government scholarships, thus they were called pensionados, and were sent to the United States to study in big colleges and universities, and some of them became teachers and leaders of the government. Philippine economy flourished, agriculture increased, there has been abundant chance for free trade with America, there were improvements on transportation and communication, there were better health services, the emancipation of women was strengthened, people exercised the freedom of religion, recreation, movies and theater. And that's all I can discuss about the American regime. If If you have some question or additional information, let me know in the comment section. Thank you for watching.